Yeah, guys. Fucking, oh, Jesus. Classic intro there. Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of my Hornby hobby. Now, maintaining your locos and rolling stock is something you're going to have to get used to because there will be problems with either the track or your locos. You'll know if it's a loco problem if the rest of your locos go around the track fine, but you always have trouble with that one. I remember when I first got the Rustin 48, it was quite a slow performer. And I thought it was just a greasing issue. So I greased it. It seemed to work, but then over time it would just get clogged up. So I stopped greasing it and kept it clean. So don't over grease is one thing. And also another thing is if you've got a lot of locos and rolling stock to maintain, or you plan on doing, then you're going to need one of these, which is a maintenance journal. And all it is, literally all it is an A5 notebook. Any kind of A5 notebook that's lined. And it helps if you've also got these, because then you can fold it. So I've touched on this in a previous video, like back when we first started this hobby. But I need to go into a bit more detail. So this is how I've laid mine out. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the date at the top because then it helps you to keep track of when you last maintained a locomotive. So you can be like, right, the 060 diesel Sunter, right, when did I last update? When did I last maintain it? Oh, it was then. And then underneath it, you can see all the specifics. So there's your loco, there's your running number, which is the number that's on the locomotive, your catalogue number, which is what it is in the catalogue, where you bought it, what the price was. I don't know why I put that down. I just do it just in case. And then the problem. And then I leave a gap, and then I put down the solution. Everything that I do. So on Saturday the 3rd of October 2020, the diesel shunter from Belfast Toy Box was a bit of a jerky runner. So I set it in the cradle, unscrewed the base, removed the chassis, inspected the worm wheel, extracted unknown hairs, tested on the track, cleaned excess oil, replaced the plate, tested on track again, adjusted one pickup, third track test, flattened wire from pickup to motor, oiled worm wheel, oiled axle rods, reassembled body and chassis. Service was successful. So you get the basic idea. You document every little thing you do. From, getting the chassis, taking that apart, and then seeing where the problem is, what the problem is, and then how to sort it. And this is just how I lay mine out. It's very simple and it's easy to reference. To be honest, I don't know why I've got the price, where I bought it from, and the running number. I don't know why I don't just do the locomotive and the catalogue number. I don't know why. But yeah, I always put the date at the top, and then this is basically when I maintain them. This is when I get my hands on them. When I decide, right, something needs to be done about this. So same thing here, exact same day, but it was with the SO4 Wheel Tanker, which was part of the freight hauler set, catalogue number R841. It was bought from Hina Antique Centre for 40 quid, and the problem was the couplings. So I removed both sets of wheels, removed the brake rigging, bent the plastic into shape, reassembled tanker body and wheels, tested both ways. Service was successful. However, the problem seems to stem from the BP tanker, which I then did in the following entry. And basically, it just keeps going like that. So the last loco that I maintained was the Rustin 48DS. It had inconsistent running, so I removed the front and rear couplings, removed the chassis from the body, tested the chassis on the track on its own. 3 laps on the outer loop. Inconsistent running occurs only on in-loop track. Wheels are both clean. So here's where I made the mistake. Grease has accumulated between the wheels and the pickups. So if you grease the motor of the Rustin too much, it spills out and covers the pickups and the wheels. So then it just jerks. So I cleaned the grease, but lubricated it this time, which is different to greasing. Tested on the inner loop, running still inconsistent. I removed the motor. I cleaned the whole gear assembly, reassembled it, tested it on the inner loop. The speed was consistent. Reunited the body with the chassis. Service was successful. And this was the 2nd of January 2021. So this was after Christmas. This was after I got it. And basically, I've just been keeping track of everything. But yeah, the Rustin, because it's so small, it has the tiniest motor in there. Like the tiniest motor that they can fit in a locomotive. And if too much grease gets there, when the worm wheel's going round, then it just overspills and gets under there, and then that's it. Then it just ends up kind of doing that. Even at full power, it still has problems. And then as soon as you slow it down, then it starts to go jerky. So don't over-grease your locos. So yeah, that's basically the maintenance journal. And I write a diary entry every time I have to maintain a locomotive. And then there's the 25th of December, 27th, 23rd. See, the first time I maintained the Rustin 48 was the 27th of December, and it kept cutting out. This is when I greased the gears, consistent speed, no cutting out, and I put it back together. It seemed fine. But over time, the grease clogged it up, and then I had to keep going back to it. Even the Centenary Smoky Joe had a few problems when it first arrived. But yeah, just get a good look at the loco, see what it's doing. You know, is it jerking about? Is it not moving at all? And set yourself up a rolling road, which is literally just a power track with a couple of long straights and buffers on either side. Then you can see if it's moving, what sounds it's making, things like that. And it really is that simple. You may think it could be a lubrication problem, but my advice is to hold off the lubrication first. Now, you may think you do the most obvious thing first and then work your way backwards or forwards, I guess. You know, lubricate it. If that doesn't work, then take it apart, clean it, see if that works. If it doesn't, then there's a problem deeper down. I think probably the only locomotive that I've not had any trouble with is Thomas. He's the one that's been performing the most. Now, when going backwards over points, he does cut out because of his wheel arrangement, which is weird because everything else is fine. But I think I've solved that problem now. While I've got Thomas, I've actually dirtied him up, and I've taken off the temporary funnel because I've got a new one here. This is from the old Smoky Joe, and I'm finally going to put a proper good funnel on Thomas. So yeah, I really love this. Just a bit of weathering powder, a bit of black weathering powder. At first it was just going to be a dirty coal bunker to look like he's been refilled with coal many times. But then I went a bit extra to make it look like he'd been working. Like from that episode, James and the Trouble with the Trees, where Thomas had been working in the coal yards, and there was a problem with the hose pipe, so they couldn't wash him down, and then James got very egotistical. And then the moral of that story is, if you have a problem with a tree, then the Fat Controller will reward you by pulling the Special Express. Yeah! Yeah, that's basically the maintenance journal. It couldn't be simpler, and you can lay it out however you feel. You can add pictures if you want. Maybe add arrows to say this is what was wrong. So then next time you get a locomotive that has the exact same problem, then you can be like, hang on, didn't another locomotive have that problem before? Flick through maintenance journal. Yes, it did. It was that wire or that motor or that gear, whatever it was. And then you can do that. It's experience. So maintaining locos is vital to having a good running railway. Also, another thing, make sure you run your locos often, once a week maybe. Don't leave them for too long, because if you do, then the grease will turn into a brittle mass and it will just grab hold and you'll get friction and then it will just burn out and then you're fucked. So yeah, so that's it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, always much appreciated. And until next time, stay safe and thanks for watching.